Mr Speaker, my question is to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, in committing to implement the Uluru Statement from Heart in full, the Prime Minister has previously claimed, and I quote, "There can be no real progress on closing the gap, and there can be no reconciliation without treaty and truth-telling." Will the Prime Minister be honest and upfront with Australians and inform the House whether or not he remains committed to a treaty and truth-telling process?
The call to the Prime Minister.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. Well, I've got a question about Uluru's statement from the heart from the Leader of the Opposition. And what I have said very clearly is that I will give respect to Indigenous Australians who have asked for a week to consider their position. I think that is pretty reasonable. That we then have a process of consultation. One of the things that I've been committed to is to the agency of First Australians, not making them just disappear from the process. And that's why I found some of the rhetoric that was used during the referendum so concerning. The idea that the Uluru Statement from the Heart was created by the Labor Party or by any individual there wipes out from history the work that Indigenous Australians did themselves. They were asked by Prime Minister Abbott to work on the form of recognition that they wanted, and that is what they did in 2017. And my position is clear about that. It stands in stark contrast with the Leader of the Opposition. Now, it's not clear to me what his position is. It changes all the time. It changed between yesterday and today. In fact, it changed between sunrise and today. More flip-flop than a thong factory, this bloke. This morning he said this, after saying yesterday the second referendum was off. This morning he said this. Nat, I know there's a lot of interpretation of this, but the Liberal Party has gone to elections, every election since John Howard was leader, with the same policy. They just never did it. And I think it is a respectful thing to do. It remains our policy. That's what he had to say. And then he went on to say,
Member for Hume,
you can only do it when you've got support from Indigenous leaders. So he just asked a question saying ignore Indigenous leaders, don't speak to them about what you're going to do.
Order. Prime Minister will pause. The Minister for Indigenous. The Minister will cease interjecting, and so will the member for Barker, so I can hear from the Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. Well, it's on relevance. We asked the Prime Minister just for one straight, honest answer.
Order. The Minister for Infrastructure will cease interjecting immediately. Prime Minister will continue.
More anger from the Leader of the Opposition, Mr Speaker. More anger. But he went on, he didn't just say it once, he said, and that remains our policy. He went on to say, there's nothing new or tricky or changed here. And then he changed it when he went on the Today Show. Can't keep a straight line between Channel 7 and Channel 9. You flick the dial and you get a different answer. On one you get two referendums. On the other one you get just one.
Time has concluded. Member for Bowman will cease interjecting. The member for Deakin will not continue with that interjection.